So this lick is based on a repetitive motion, something I like to call a pivot lick. And the only thing that changes basically is your very first note. Everything else stays the same. So if you keep that in mind, it makes this lick a little bit more accessible. You know, it's one of those things that the notes just kind of stay the same and only that first note changes. So it makes it a little bit easier to kind of learn this riff. It sounds a little harder than what it really is. So we're going to start on the 12th fret on the D string. We're going to jump up to the 15th fret on the B string. Then we're going to go to 14 on the G string, and then 12 on the G string. Then we're going to jump to the 15th fret on the high E, then come back to the 14th on the G string, then go to the 14th fret. See how I kind of shift my pinky there? 14, jump up to 14 on the 3rd string. So you basically repeat that lick twice. Now, as I said before, the only thing that changes is your first note. So now your 3rd finger plays the 14th. Everything else but that first note, you know, basically stays the same. So now 14, and then I jump, the rest of the lick stays the same. Okay? We do that twice, just like we did the first lick. Now we jump down to 12. This is now our new starting lick. 12th fret, G string. All right, so now we're almost there. What we're going to do is go back to that first note, the 12th fret on the 4th string, and that's how we finish. Now remember, this is not the starting lick again. This is basically the ending lick. And when we finish this lick up, then we're going to go ahead and start it over again. So basically that lick will be played 4 times instead of 2. So now we go back to here. All right, and that basically takes us through the sequence. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the sequence in its entirety a little bit slower. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so basically the lick I just showed you, you want to do that whole section 2 times. On the 3rd time of playing the lick, you're going to have a different ending. So when we go back to that D note as our starting point, we're going to replace that section with another section I'm getting ready to teach you. So let me play it for you so you kind of understand where this little part's going to come in. 2, 3, 4. So what I did there is at the very end, I replaced that last sequence with this little higher pattern sequence. All right, so the way we're going to do this is we replace those last 2 measures with this. We're going to start on the 12th fret, jump up to 14 on the G string, then 15 on the 2nd string, back to the 14 on the G string, back to the 12 on the 1st string, back to the A, 14 on the 1st string, back to the A. So let's play that first measure. Then the second measure, we're going to go 15 on the 1st string, back to the 14, 14 on the last string, back to 14, 12th fret, 14, then the 15th, and then back to the 14th. Okay, all together. right? So now what I want to do is I want to play this whole riff in its entirety, all the way, the first time all the way through the third time. Once you get done this, and you want to really practice this part over and over. This is the part that everybody remembers on this song. It's such a cool little phrase, a cool little lick, and he kind of wrote this as more of a little exercise. He didn't even think it was a riff that would go on to, be a huge hit. So it's kind of funny the way things work out like that. So let me go ahead and play the whole thing. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so before we move on to the next section of the song, I want to go over a couple things with you. One being the picking pattern. And, I've watched a lot of people play this particular lick, and it seems like there's no kind of rhyme or reason, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the way that I do it. So we're going to basically start with the 12th fret, pattern here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down, down, up, down. So. Then when I jump down to here, I go down, up, down, up. So I'm basically going down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Okay, one more time. Okay, so that's kind of the way that I approach this pattern as far as the picking. A little bit of economy, a little bit of, alternate picking in there. So like I said before, I've seen a few people do it differently. It just really whatever works comfortable, and is comfortable for you. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of put that out there, what I was doing, and then also that you can kind of do your own thing as well. Also, when we listen to the intro, we kind of hear some other parts. We hear what is basically the next part that I'm going to teach you, which is the verse playing underneath it. And then also he's got kind of a cool little bass line that we're going to go ahead and take a look at later on. So we'll go ahead and kind of put the whole thing together as far as the intro, all three parts, so you can kind of hear how that sounds. But for now, let's go ahead and move on to the verse so we kind of keep moving through the song.